Tonight, there is an outcry from politicians and celebrities on social media to stop the execution of a death row inmate in Texas, and it's growing louder. It became a trending topic on Twitter today.
Petition Lance explains how new evidence put Rodney Reed's conviction into question.
Rodney Reed's fight for freedom is drawing bipartisan support from politicians and a growing number of celebrities. More than 2 million people have signed a petition asking Governor Abbott to stop the execution. Other supporters picketed the Texas state capitol on Saturday, calling for him to be freed. In his 5 years as governor, Abbott has overseen 50 executions and only condemned one after the victim's family requested it.
I'm cautiously optimistic that something good has got to happen.
Reed has been on death row for 22 years. In 1996, 19-year-old Stacy Stites was found dead on the side of the road in Bastrop, Texas. For months, the prime suspect was her fiancé, Jimmy Fennell, until DNA evidence pointed to Rodney Reed.
I'm innocent of this case. Absolutely innocent.
Reed's semen was found inside Stites. Reed says he and Stites had a consensual relationship, and Fennell found out about it. But at the time, he told investigators he didn't know her.
That was the worst mistake I've ever could have made. And I did not want to be incriminated in relation to her death.
Reed's attorney says the investigation was full of holes, and new evidence points to the fiancé as the killer. Jimmy Fennell spent 10 years in prison for kidnapping and raping a woman while on duty as a police officer. A fellow inmate said in an affidavit that Fennell admitted to killing his fiancée.
It's just plain ludicrous to buy into this Rodney Reed circus.
Fennell's attorney denies the allegations.
Well, prosecutors have said Reed is also suspected of sexually assaulting 6 other women, but all of those allegations were never proven. Reed has appeals pending all the way up to the Supreme Court, but if any of those are granted, it could come down to his final hours.